You ask someone a simple question. They answer, but something feels off. Maybe they won't meet your eyes. Maybe their voice shakes. Maybe they touch their face. Is it guilt? Is it fear? Or is the body actually betraying the lie? Science says yes. Let's break down exactly what happens, physically and psychologically, when someone tells a lie. And stay tuned till the end. We'll reveal a little known secret. Only experts know. So what happens in the brain? The good news is that telling the truth is easy. It's automatic. It requires little effort. Lying? That's complicated. When someone lies, the brain's prefrontal cortex becomes very active. This is the area involved in decision-making, problem-solving, and self-control. The brain has to inhibit the truth, invent a believable story, remember the details, manage emotions like guilt, and watch how the other person reacts. That's a lot of multitasking, and it burns cognitive energy fast. Next, stress triggers fight or flight. Lying is stressful. Even for skilled liars, the moment someone decides to lie, their sympathetic nervous system kicks in, the same system activated by fear or danger. This triggers the fight or flight response, causing increased heart rate, faster breathing, sweaty palms, dilated pupils, and muscle tension. Even if the person stays calm on the outside, these subtle signs can leak through. Micro-expressions betray the truth. Have you ever seen someone smile but it didn't reach their eyes? These are called micro-expressions. They're lightning fast facial movements that reveal real emotions before we can hide them. When someone lies, their real feelings may flash for a fraction of a second. Most people don't notice them consciously, but our brains often feel them. Eye contact changes. The myth says liars won't look you in the eye. But that's not always true. In fact, some liars try too hard to maintain eye contact, as if overcompensating. However, liars often blink more rapidly, look up to the right when imagining, or dart their eyes side to side when monitoring their audience's reactions. It is not about where they look, it's about how unnatural the eye behavior feels. Voice and speech patterns shift. The voice can be a giveaway. When lying, people may speak faster or slower, use more filler words like raise their pitch slightly or repeat and correct themselves often. These vocal cues suggest cognitive load, the mental effort of keeping the lie straight. Some may also talk too much, over-explaining to sound convincing. Body language becomes guarded. Lying is uncomfortable, and the body tries to protect itself. Common signs include crossing arms or legs, turning slightly away, touching the face or neck, covering the mouth, shrinking posture, and fidgeting with objects, clothes, or fingers. These self-soothing gestures help regulate stress, but they can also alert observant listeners. Guilt causes leakage. Even practiced liars sometimes slip. They may say something true accidentally, or their emotions betray them. This is called leakage, when inner emotions escape through words, tone, or gestures. Or they smile nervously when denying wrongdoing, a mismatch of body and story. Liars avoid specific language. Liars tend to avoid using I or me, speak in vague terms, skip time markers, and avoid direct answers. They may also repeat the question before answering, buying time to think. All of this helps them feel less tied to the lie. Memory mistakes give them away. Truth is easy to remember. Lies? Not so much. Over time, liars may forget what they said, inconsistently recall details, add or remove parts of the story, and get defensive when asked again. This inconsistency becomes clear when you revisit the topic later. Brain fatigue leads to slip UPS. Since lying is so mentally taxing, it's exhausting. The brain eventually slips, especially under pressure. Long interviews, stress, or being caught off guard increase the chance of mistakes. That's why detectives often keep suspects talking. Not just to gather info, but to let fatigue reveal the lie. Not all liars show signs. Here's the tricky part. Some people, like sociopaths or practiced manipulators, may not show typical stress signs. Their heart rate doesn't spike. They don't feel guilt. They've trained themselves to lie without the tells. That's why no single sign proves deception. But a cluster of clues paints a powerful picture. So how can you spot a lie? Look for patterns, not just one sign. Pay attention to changes in behavior, not just odd behavior. contradictions between words and body language, and overcompensation, too much eye contact, too many details. And most importantly, trust your gut. Our brains are wired to detect subtle signals. Sometimes we feel a lie before we can explain why. Have you ever caught someone lying? Or realized your body gave you away? Comment your story below and hit like, share, and follow for more fascinating human science. Thanks for watching.